Welcome back to another episode of the Never Early Podcast. My name is Mike.
And my name is Gary.
In our previous episode, we talked about how to make friends. And in this episode, we're going to talk about how to solve problems within friends. Like, let's say there's a complication, an argument. How do you solve these problems?
That's a good one, honestly.
Yeah. So first question is like, what are some solutions to resolving problems between friends? I'll start off because this is... I feel like a lot of people that are watching this that have some kind of problems with their friends, this will help you.
Okay.
So whatever problems that you have with your friends, I promise you it's not that serious. It will never be. If you both are genuinely good friends, it's never that serious, right? Unless that friend, had sex with your ex or had sex with your girlfriend or your wife.
Like something crazy.
Something crazy where it's like, okay, now like I can never go back.
Yeah.
Or I can never look at you the same thing. But if you're like having an argument between red is fucking cooler than blue, that's dumb. It's never that serious. I promise you. Life is way too short to be, arguing with people and just like always like holding something over someone over the head. Always holding something over someone's head. So honestly, me personally, like some ways to resolving problems is like not taking it too seriously. Take us like in the heat of the moment, we might be really angry in our emotions, but we have to really take a step back, take a deep breath, and think like, listen, is it really worth this friendship? Is it really worth the time for me to, emotionally get myself like upset and like taking it out on people? No, it's not that deep. For me personally, I always catch myself like I feel when I feel strongly about something, when I'm passionate about something, and it's not the positive way, I like really sit back and I think about like, damn, is this really how it's going to end? Yeah. And I just take it like a lot of deep breaths for me personally.
A lot of the times it's okay to agree to disagree. Because I don't know a single friend of mine that we share every similar, solution or interest in. Mm-hmm. Everybody's different. Some of our friends are always going to be better than us in this, and we're going to be better than them in this. Then that's okay. That's what we're here for. We can support each other in the things that we're good at or bad at.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and if you're in a friendship where you always have to one up each other, bro, you're not friends.
You're not friends.
You're really not
it's
friends.
An ego thing.
Yeah, definitely, you're not friends.
Yep.
Like
a majority of this that we're talking about, it's always an ego thing when there's like a heated debate.
Yeah, and like let's just say, for example, like one day you pay for his meal, the next day he isn't paying for your meal. It's like, don't get too focused on that. I mean, keep that in the back of your mind, because then it'll be like times like, okay, you know what, maybe let's just go half. But like, don't let something so trivial like eat you up as a person.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there's nothing that's really worth your mental, especially in your like a really close friend. Like a problem so small can just be resolved by talking as well, talking it out. And it's not corny to talk about it. It's not corny to talk about your feelings. Like me and Gary, we talk about like how we feel. If we said something that offended each other, we'll talk about it 100%. Yeah. Like I don't have a problem saying, hey, listen, Gary, I don't think like what you did was cool. I just want to express myself this way. Or if Gary feels some type of way, I'd be like, listen, my fault, bro. I didn't mean like that. Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, hey, like if he says some fuck shit, and he's drunk, I'll still tell him the next day that that's fucked up, Granted, I do know that, if they were drunk, I'll put it in the back of my head and be
still not so me personally, bro, even if I'm drunk, I'm not going to act like an idiot. I'm not going to like say something crazy that's going to be like, yo, like you're a piece of shit or blah, blah, blah. Like, that's just me personally. Like I'm not that kind of drunk.
Yeah. And I think that we're pretty good on that. Say like, whenever I get drunk, I do some stupid shit like break your couch, break your sofa and stuff.
Fucking dude broke my sofa couch.
But you know what? Mike's understanding and
clean that shit up.
He cleaned it up, and and I paid him back for that. So it's all good. Like we knew that, we didn't do it on purpose. Like I didn't do it on purpose.
And then he goes to throw up all over my fridge.
And he cleaned it up.
And I cleaned it up. And then he throws up. He throws up in my bathroom, right? But he misses the fucking toilet. The guy has the audacity to sit on the toilet and throw up on the floor.
I have one arm on his toilet seat, okay? Point blank range, okay? I could have just threw up in that toilet and I still missed.
And till this day, I still think, why? How did you miss the toilet, bro? You're literally on it, bro.
You know what? I'll tell you, okay? I do remember I was so drunk and I was like, oh, I need to throw up, okay? And I tried to in your toilet seat, right? And nothing came out, and I was like, "Oh, false alarm!" But the moment I said it was false alarm, it just came up.
Oh my god, bro!
And like I threw up on my shirt and everything, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Bro. And when you're so drunk, like I don't even think about cleaning it up. You know what I mean? Like that's how drunk I was.
I would. If I'm drunk and I threw up on the floor, I'm like, "Oh shit, fuck! Where's the nearest towel?"
Yeah,
but that's just me though.
But the thing is, I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't see anything but toilet paper in your bathroom, and I was like, dude, I'm not cleaning it up with toilet paper. I'm just saying, okay, if you had paper towels in there or like a rag or something, I would. But I looked around, I was like, there's no rag, so therefore I'm not cleaning it up, and I fell asleep.
Yeah, that's funny as shit.
Which is messed up, and I'm glad you cleaned it up. So.
I mean, do I have a choice? It's my salon. What am I going to leave the throw up on the floor for my customers to see in the morning?
Yeah.
Anywho, all right, so second question, right? Can you give an example at a time when you argued with a friend and how did you resolve that argument? Like, what did you do?
I don't get into a lot of arguments with my friends, and I do remember like the last time I got into an argument with my friend and it was over politics, and he's a Democrat, and I'm not saying that I'm a Republican, I just don't really get into politics like that. I kind of side like halfway with Republicans and halfway with Democrats, so he just likes to bring that up. So every time he brings it up, you know, I think at like one point I just told him the truth and he just didn't like it. And he kept arguing back and forth why Democrats better. And I'm just like, dude, can we just agree to disagree, this and that? And then he said something like, oh, you really have no right to even say anything when you don't vote. And I was like, ooh, just because you voted one fucking time this year, okay? You think that you have, you think you have the right to say so many things, you know? And we just got into like a heated argument, and then like both of our girlfriends stopped us from it. And then he told all my other friends about it just to try and get like confirmation on that he was right. And I was like, that's just so childish of you, because I didn't want to bring up politics at all. But every time, just because you have nobody to talk politics with, you come around to me to talk about it every single time. You know, it's just wrong. And he's like, oh, I won't bring it up anymore. And I'm just like, then why are we even arguing about it when I'm not even into politics? So it's like, I see it from his side, but I see it more from my side because I felt like a victim. Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't ever say that.
Yeah.
Okay. So to this day, I still think I'm right. You know,
yeah.
Just because I've told him multiple times I don't want to talk about politics. So that's
I totally agree with you. And if you're someone that like feels really heavily into politics, you could still have difference in opinions, but still be good people at the end of the day. Yeah,
because I just don't understand why he cared so much about my view on politics when I never talk about politics. Like if you care so much about politics, why don't you go on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook and talk about it with the other people that actually care about politics?
Why don't you run for president?
No, exactly. If you have so much to say, why don't you run for presidency or something else? I don't get it. Oh, shit. Because matter of the fact is, like, even if you vote, okay, I know that every vote counts. Yeah. But we don't make that much of a difference. Okay.
It's like, man, the comment section is about to blow the fuck out, bro.
Yeah. I'm just like, somebody that like kind of sides with both of them, it doesn't really change our economy that much, because if you know anything about politics, you'll know that every 8 years we go back and forth with our president either being a Democrat or a Republican. Why is it that we have a system where every 8 years we fight back and forth, or even every 4 years, you know? Why do we have to go back and forth? That's just separating us as a community.
Oh, preach.
That's my thought on it. And you know what? I would love to hear feedbacks because, to be honest, I don't know much about politics as much as other people. This is just my opinion, and I genuinely want people to answer my question on this.
Yeah, that's wild that your friend. You guys are still cool to this day?
Yeah, we're still cool.
Okay,
because
right.
at the end of the day, I know that I've been friends with him for like 17 years now, and I'm not gonna sabotage our friendship over politics. Although I will say that I didn't talk to him for like a month, or I was kind of petty with him for a month after that because he wanted to be right so bad, but I wanted to be right also really bad because because it's like he was literally trying to blame me when I'm the victim. I didn't even want to get in this conversation with him.
Hashtag Petty Gary.
Yeah. It's like anything that has to do with politics, just get me out of it. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know much about it, so I don't even know why you're talking to me about it. So it doesn't matter if we're Democrats or Republicans. At the end of the day, we have the same goal. Okay. Yeah. We're supposed to support each other, and just because one of your friends a Republican and the other friend is a Democrat, it doesn't mean much. It's not like they're changing much, okay? Sure, there's an extra vote here and there, okay? But at the end of the day, let's be real now, guys, okay? What most Republicans and Democrats talk about before they become president, how much of it do they actually do? Everything that they preach for that they're gonna do during presidency, how much of it actually comes true? Preach. Put that into perspective.
Clip. Anyhow, wow, that show's wild. But I will say though, there are some crazy Democrats and there are some crazy Republicans, and like I stay away from both of those people.
Yeah.
Like either you're with them or you're against them, and I'm like, listen, man, I know no one really gives a F about me, bro. So whether I vote for one party or for the other party, they still don't care about me.
Yeah.
And you can make an argument saying like your vote does matter. Honestly, truly, man, listen, for me, I don't think it really matters, honestly. Because whatever happens is going to happen at the end of the day. And I'm waiting I'm waiting for the reset button. God.
Yeah.
Take me away.
I think it's time for a new system in America, man.
What do you propose?
Something that
China? No, I'm just kidding.
Something that the citizens have that are united, and we can vote on something that truly matters instead of just picking a party. Because we've seen it done with
Democrats.
I mean, Europeans, I think it's the French. They've changed their systems within like the past 30 years. Like it's something completely different now. And I don't understand why we're still so fixated on something that's over a century old that clearly doesn't really work out in our favor. And there's violence, gun violence, murders, and just fights among us. And for what? For what? When every single 4-8 years, we go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We're really just fighting with ourselves and each other.
Oh, man. Bars. But anyways, an example.
How do we get on top of politics?
Bro. So, an example of a time when I've argued with a friend and how did I resolve it. So, like I said, at the end, for me personally wise, I don't think there's any argument worthy enough, especially if I really consider you as a friend, that's going to make me feel a certain type of way about my friendship or our friendship.
Like even when Mike takes all my chips at a poker table, I still know that he's a good guy.
Bro, bro, listen, no, we're not gonna do that, bro. We're not gonna do that, bro.
Imagine
this dude gets so lucky. Yo, listen, bro, we're not doing this. We're not doing this.
Imagine that we're the only two guys left on the table, just that has a hand on a poker table, and he still bets.
Because I have it, bro. What the? I'm trying to secure the bag.
And this guy gets so angry that I call but it's like I also have a hand, okay?
No, you get lucky, bro.
And guess what?
You get lucky on like a 2-outer, bro.
And after I call him,
fuck out of here.
He still has the audacity to keep betting, even when I have the nuts.
Bro, you don't have the nuts into the river or I have you on a flop. I can 85% of the time I have you on a flop, bro. But then you get lucky on the turn of the river. That's all I gotta say. To go back to me answering my question, can I give an example of a time? Okay, so an example of a time I had a friend. We were arguing about the bill because it's one of those friendships where like I felt like I was giving in too much. Mm-hmm. And like I wasn't getting that same energy reciprocated. Like I was always paying for the bill. Boom, 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 boom.
Well, first of all, how long have you guys been friends?
3 years, 4 years.
And what are your guys' like financial issues? Like financial.
Like I think it was probably like 22, 23. Like I wasn't really making that much money.
Like was he doing better than you financially? You think? Or you guys are like probably even?
I wasn't really that sure, but I never really paid attention to that. But he was working though. But anyways, I was always paying for the meal, always, and I never got that same energy back. And so I would, I have like one meal. I was like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and see if he's gonna pay for it. Mm-hmm. Motherfucker sitting here like this.
That's a bad friend.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, like I'm not friends with this person, but this also goes to show, like, listen, like. People, you don't always have to be friends with everybody, but how I resolve this situation, like I have nothing against this person. Like I still see him, maybe not as a friend, but as an acquaintance. But I see this person. How I resolve the issue. I'm like, yo, listen, bro. Like I straight up confront him. Like, listen, bro. I've always been paying for the bill. Like. Every single time. Like I would appreciate it if you paid for one of the bills. And this dude had to look up, was like, all right, man, gives me an attitude and pays for the bill. First of all, that's how you know like he's not really like that good of a friend. That's one. But a way that I would resolve an example in this situation is like, listen, just be vocal about how you feel. And if they're good friends, they will respond the way they should be as a good friend.
Yeah, because a good friend would be thinking, hey, you know what? He's right. I don't really do much for him, and he's always paying for my bill. So the least I can do is pay for the next meal.
Yeah.
I agree.
Then let's go into the third question. Like, so do you think there are some things that just cannot be resolved and that you're just better off not being friends? Is there a situation like that? Do you think that may arise? Or, yeah. I have one.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead.
Okay, I'll go first. Ahead. So, I believe, was I in high school at this time? Give me a moment. I believe I was still in high school at this moment. So there's this one dude, right? That so I moved out of my mom and dad's house, and I was on the streets for a little bit. And this one guy, he took me in, and I was dating this girl, right? And so me and this girl, we had a rocky relationship. Like we were on and off all the time, this and that. And the thing's like, he knows that we have that situation, but I voiced to him like, listen, like, yo, this girl, like, no matter what we do to each other, no matter how on and off we are, like, I still really like her. Like, I really want to be with her. Mm-hmm. He knows all this. And he goes up to me. He was like, yo, bro, I know that you're rocky with this girl, but I was wondering if I could shoot my shot. I'm like, what? Like, are you serious?
Dude has no class, man.
And so at that time, you know, he gave me a spot, and he did this and he did that for me. So I thought he was joking, and so like we were laughing, but then like fast forward in like a few days or a week, whatever time that had passed, like the girl that I was on and off with, she comes up to me and she tells me like, yo, such and such was trying to talk to me.
Yeah.
And in my mind, bro, I'm like, yo, this scum of a person that I had been vulnerable with, expressed my feelings about how I feel about somebody, and then tries to go and talk to the girl that I am very much interested in.
Yeah.
That's a situation that I 100% will never look at that person's way again. Yeah. Like my wife, my girlfriend, whatever it is, if you're talking to that person and you're my friend, motherfucker, bro, just that's something that I will never look back. Like, you're dead to me after that.
Yeah.
I don't care what part of my life, like, there's a bro code. There's an honorable code amongst men. That is the number one thing you should never do. And if you're that type of person, what you need to do is not have friends.
Get out of that relationship with them. Because if they can do that to you, in a relationship, just think about what else they can do to you in the future.
Exactly.
You know, it doesn't matter if it's like business, other relationships, or whatnot. They're always thinking about fucking you over. Yeah.
So what's one thing that you think like there's no chance of saving this friendship? You have anything in mind?
Yeah. Like one of my childhood friends, I'm not friends with him anymore. I remember on RuneScape, this really old MMO game.
Yeah. He still plays to this day, but...
I still play. Yeah. But anyways, I remember we used to always go to the library and play together. And one day I didn't log out of my account and my session was up. But so I left and he logged in to that same computer and my account was still up because my session ended, but I didn't know that my account was still logged in. And he had the audacity to just log into his account and kill me. And the funny thing is, like, say that I had one bill on that account, right? I had like 800 mil.
Yeah.
Okay. And he only got like 7 mil out of it after killing me because there's a new update on RuneScape where you don't get every single thing from, like, you only get, like, if they're risking more, you get a higher chance of loot, but you're not going to get everything. So he fucked me over 800 mil just so he can get 7 mil. And he never owned up to it. But I knew that he did it because he was acting very suspicious for the next week when I kept saying that, like, somebody hacked me, this and that. And then after a while, I was like, hey, I know that you did it because you told all my friends. And I'm not going to be friends with you anymore. And then like a month later, he went up to my house and like apologized and cried and everything. And I was like, you know what? It is just over a game. And
it's the principle that counts, bro. What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, later on, he was just really jealous. Like, fast forward like 10 years, we're like 17, 18, right before I moved to like Denver, Colorado. He would always be jealous that I would have girlfriends and I was like doing way better than him financially and
he's not a friend
and everything else. I just feel like he just had me around just so he can like talk shit about me all the time.
Wow.
So anytime something went wrong in my life, he was happy about it. Anytime that I had something good going for me, he was never there to support me.
Wow.
And one time he asked, hey, do you and this one friend want to go out to the bars? And we were with our girlfriends, this and that. And we're like, yeah, that's cool. So we had our girlfriends along because we were already hanging out. And by the way, he's good friends with our girlfriends at that time. So we didn't think that was an issue. And you know what? When he got there, we're like, hey, can our girlfriends come too? If not, that's cool, okay? And he's like, I don't care.
I know where this is heading, but keep going.
So we asked him for approval when he got there, okay? And then during the whole time at the bar, he didn't say a word, okay? He didn't say a word and things were awkward and I'm just like asking him questions, just trying to make him talk. And then I remember coming back home a few hours later, he got out of the car right away and said the most like horrendous things that like a friend could say. And he's like, fuck you guys are not real friends. Go fuck yourself, go die, this and that. And we're like, why are you being like this? And he never told us why. And then the next day, he's like, you had the audacity to bring your girlfriends, this and that. And I was like, you agreed to it when I asked you when you got here. Okay. We already have plans, but because you wanted to go to the bars, we would go with you. And then a week later, he apologized again. And I was like, you know what? This happens.
A sorry ass dude, man.
Yeah. And I was like, this happens every single time, like every few months. So before I moved to Denver, Colorado, I was like, I need to just break off this friendship with him because this is not healthy.
What a hating ass dude.
Yeah.
I swear, man.
Yeah, like his life is not going well, so he just wants to bring other people down.
That's crazy.
And I think like we've all had friends like that before.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You know?
That's wild.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today's episode. Remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And here's a question we want to leave off to you guys. What are some ways how you guys resolve solutions, girls. How do you resolve resolutions in terms of like any arguments with your friends? Like, what are some ways? What are some methods you use? Comment in the section below. You may be helping somebody out as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for tuning in.
And please tell us a story if you have like a really good story on how to resolve it or something that happened.
I read all comments, by the way.
So yeah, thank you so much, guys. Have a good one. Peace.